Good day, sisters and brothers, One Nation Tribal Alliance, brothers and sisters near and far across the pond. Today, I am here to give you my eighth video on my 10 video challenge. So, today I'm going to talk to you all about the first European contact with the Zuni people. And according to the history, Zuni was the first contact with the Europeans from the Coronado's expedition. So, without further ado, let's go to the next video slide. But first, I gotta down put in my PowerPoint. So let me see. Da da da. Okay, and all right, here we go. Again, you know who I am, and the Zuni Pueblo contact. I put it with Spanish, but we just put the European people. And One Nation Tribal Alliance seal, and we're One Nation Tribal Alliance. So I have to do a little introduction so you can know who I am or remember who I am. Anyway, back to the slides. Let's go on with the first one. Okay, European first discovered Zuni territory in 1529 when Frair Marcos De Niza and a black Moorish former slave named Estavenico led a party from Mexico and headed north. They came to a place called Hawikuh, which was occupied by the Zuni people. So this top picture is supposed to be a picture of Estavenico, and there is another picture of him that we will go into, and this is a picture of what's left of Hawikuh ruins that was occupied by Zuni during the contact of the European explorers back in 1539. Okay, this is a better picture of Estevanico. Estevanico shipwrecked with Cabeza de Vaca around the Florida Keys. They followed the Gulf Coast and came to Mexico when Coronado had just arrived. So they followed from the Florida Keys, they followed the coastline, and when they got to Mexico, Coronado was there and he had just arrived into the new world, as they call it back then. During the route following the Gulf, Estevanico encountered some natives, and during this route, he learned about the natives also. So when he got to Mexico, he requested to be part of the exploration that went to the north looking for spices, is what it was originally for, but later on it got changed. So they went up north, Estavenico and Frair Marcos De Niza, along with a small group of men, like maybe there was like about 8 of them. They went north and they came to Zuni at a place called Hawikuh. Hawikuh and Estevanico came to Zuni with Frair Marcos De Niza, who was the Catholic priest or friar or missioner, whatever you call him, with a few men. They came to Hawikuh. Estebanico made Fray Marcos and a few men stay outside of the village, hiding and to see, let him make contact with the people because understand, coming through the Gulf, he encountered some natives he had an experience with contacting with the natives. So Estebanico made contact with the Zuni people and started to start pushing his way around because Zuni, I guess, was surprised of what he looked like, who he was, and everything. And he was a tall man. And Zuni people were not that tall. And our oral history says that we were not that tall. They considered him to be a giant. So with them fearing who he was, he used his he used the fear to start pushing the people around and telling them what to do and everything. Well, the Zuni leaders, you know, was asking him questions. Who are you? And he said, I am a leader. And this gourd was given to me to show that I am a leader. And in this picture, you can see right here, this is the gourd that he was talking about right here. And so, you know, he carried that gourd with him all the time. Well, the Zuni leader made a line with secret cornmeal, banning him not to cross it. And that's the traditional way. When somebody makes a line, you're not supposed to cross that line. But Estavenico crossed the line, pushing his way in, and then was killed by the Zuni people using rabbit sticks, breaking his gourd. Because according to our oral history legend, or it says that the Zuni people did not know how to kill the giant because you know, they didn't have any weapons. The only weapons they had about a 2 foot long stick, which they used to go hunt rabbits with. They would chase the rabbits and throw that stick, and if they have a good aim, they will hit that rabbit, and once it falls over and knocks itself out, they get the rabbit. But that's the only weapons they had. So they got two sticks, and they said that they need to inquire with the two leaders that they had, which they asked them. And the two leaders that they had at the time went to the Father, the Creator, and asked him, how do we kill this giant? And he said, there's a gourd. That gourd is his heart. You break that gourd, you break him, and he will fall, and then you can get him. So the first stick that was thrown, they missed. The second stick that was thrown at him, he hit the gourd and broke the gourd, and he fell down. And when he fell down, that's when they killed him. So that's according to our oral history about it. But anyway, this is a picture of Estavenico, and I don't know if that's what he looked like, but this is the only picture I found of him. So now, this is a picture of Frair Marcos De Niza. Marcos De Niza was a Catholic friar or Franciscan friar and a missionary from a city of Nice in the Duchy of Savoy. Marcos led the first Spanish expedition to explore what is now the South American Southwest. His report of finding a beautiful city more extensive than that of Mexico City induced Viceroy Antonio de Mendoza to organize a large-scale entrada under the leadership of Francisco Vasquez de Coronado. Marcos served as a guide for this expedition, but when they failed to find the wealth they expected, Coronado blamed Marcos, called him a liar, and sent him back to Mexico. What they're talking about there here is that when Frair Marcos De Niza and the few men that was with him were standing behind a hill watching Estavenico going to the Zuni village. to, you know, make whatever friends or whatever. When the Zunis killed him, and Frair Marcos witnessed them killing Estavenico, he went back to Mexico and said that he saw 7 cities of gold. And, they call it 7 cities of Cibola. And so that prompted the exploration. Other explorers like, Coronado said, I'm going to take my army and we're going to go up and find that city of gold and take that gold with us because that's what that and they looked and looked and looked and they could never find the cities of gold. So Coronado said that Frair Marcos De Niza lied, and so he was sent back to Mexico in disgrace, as they call it. But what came out of it, again, from the Spanish European contact to the Zuni people, is in 1629, the Catholics built a church in Hawikuh, which where Estavenico made contact with the Zuni people, and the Zuni people killed him there. They built a church in Hawikuh, and later was moved to Zuni Pueblo, which this is a picture of the church that was moved from Hawikuh to Zuni Pueblo and was built right in the middle of town. And the Vigas on this in this church are the original Vigas that was at the church that was built in 1629 in Hawikuh. They brought it to Zuni and built the church using the same Vigas. So this church was built in Zuni, and it was the introduction to religion to the Zuni people. So that is a brief nutshell of the contact that the Zuni people had with the Europeans. So there's a lot of information documented on there. So if you want to look it up, feel free. That church is still standing in Zuni. So y'all have this is all I've got to bring up about this first European contact. Now, if you all have any questions or like to look into it more, you can contact me and then we can go ahead and basically, look into it because, you know, all these things that we are trying to share with you, they're in our oral history and they're folklore, folklore because they're not fictional story. I mean, they're nonfiction stories, so it's just been passed down orally. And a lot of this information is documented on the Zunis that was written from 1901 to 1903 by Matilda Cox Stevenson. And that book is available on Amazon. So, but then again, it is also recorded through the Library of Congress if you want to download that recording and have it read to you. But this is our first European contact information that I wanted to share with you. So I hope you all enjoyed it. And again, don't forget, we have our website, which is healthyandharmoniouslifestyle.com. And you can you can get a hold of me at hello@healthyandharmoniouslifestyle.com, or you can join us on our tribe, which is One Nation Tribal Alliance on Facebook. And so this is what I have for tonight. Y'all have a wonderful day. I love y'all, and you'll have a happy Thanksgiving.